a lot of Republicans talk about the drug trafficking across the border, which is obviously awful. It affects a lot of Americans. The opioid crisis is, just a complete assault on our nation. On the other hand, if that argument won't do, if you don't care what happens to Americans, why don't you care what happens to young children and women who are trafficked across the border? Like, at what point do you recognize that you are advocating for a international violation of any kind of human decency? And instead they're like, no, it's bad. We got to keep the border open. It's great. I mean, this is the thing. This is my favorite topic actually to talk about with people who are left leaning, because it's like, a lot of people who would vote Democrat are bleeding hearts, right? They believe that they're trying to help people.
I don't think
and if
that
you're able to say these policies harm people, they are more likely to be open to them. I think the border is a crazy issue because there were so many Republicans who would not talk about it. They were afraid to be called racist. They were afraid to do whatever. I mean, the Republican House, I think, or Congress wouldn't necessarily, they fought giving Trump funding for the border wall when he was in office, because they were like, well, it's not that big of a priority.
The government shutdown for that.
Right. And look at us now. Like, this is a major issue. We are paying the prices. And in fact, we had a president that wanted to intercede earlier, who wanted to stop this. And even if you don't like Trump, right? Don't you care about human trafficking? Don't you care about neighbors in your communities dying of drug overdoses? Like, this is the big reckoning at the border, which is messaging around it was like, if you want to close it, you're racist. And the reality is actually it's a hugely compassionate issue to say we are not going to have this finish line at which point people are incentivized to send their families to people who want to traffic and harm them.
But are they getting that message? Because you have all these organizations that are saying like, they're screaming the racism.
Yeah.
So,
and there are a lot of organizations that are built around encouraging people to cross, like nonprofit organizations that are structured around encouraging
even
people
the
to cross the border. Right. And so why would you turn off that cash flow if the purpose of your nonprofit is to solve an issue like trying to get people to cross illegally?
Puts them out of business if they solve the problem.
Can you guess how much the cartels made in December alone with the record breaking of 300,000?
$2 billion
a day. I'm talking about.
In a day?
A day.
How much do they make?
$32 million a day from this.
It's also an issue of framing. Like, I think this has a lot to do with the echo chambers that most people who follow politics find themselves in. So you can frame that issue in that way, and it's accurate, but sharing the horrors of what's going on is not going to be how they receive that information. They're not going to get the information from somebody who's willing to share all the facts of what it actually means to go through a border crossing, right? Not the coyotes, not all of the drugs that come through. It's being framed to them, whether it's by MSNBC, CNN, any of these places, as a humanitarian issue that they have to be a bleeding heart on. So therefore, they don't get the full breadth of what's actually happening, which is why their views don't change.
They kind of
I'd love to see.
month.
I got an idea. I got a really, really great idea. When these people come to the border and they demand asylum, what we do is we get them a very comfortable bus, really nice one. Like, I'm talking like, you ever see those luxury buses that go from like New York to DC and they got recliner chairs?
You talk about the Greyhound?
They're not, Greyhounds are not comfortable. But they got these really nice ones. It's like super cheap. And then they got these big chairs up top and you got this glass ceiling. Oh, this is really great. You can see everything. We'll take all the
bus.
Yeah, megabus. We'll put all the migrants on there and we'll bring them to Native American reservations. And then when the left, advocates for immigration, we'll say, absolutely, yeah, we'll send them to the Native American reservations.
Isn't that
what's wrong? Why are you upset? Why are you upset about it?
Aren't they like federally protected?
Sure. So here's the solution. The reservations are federally protected, federally recognized. Texas is upset about it, doesn't want people there. Here's a solution. The left thinks migration is a good thing. So who would complain if we send these immigrants to Native American reservations? Well, everyone should be happy, right?
That's true. Well, this idiot mayor of mine, former idiot mayor of mine, because I don't live in New York City anymore, he's suing the Texas bus company. So I'm like, how much damage is that going to do?
I think the answer here is just for Abbott to send the migrants to Native American reservations and then ask the left why they're upset if they get mad about it. They should be very happy because migration's a good thing, right?